Good evening, everyone. Welcome into Vols Society Live on this Wednesday night. My name is David Morrison. I am the Vols Society analyst right here on the Vols Society Network. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/UT Vols Society. 5,000 and growing, like I mention every week. Just thank you for your support each and every week. Also, thanks to our viewers on YouTube watching us live on this Wednesday night. Don't forget to like the video, share it, and subscribe to our channel. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Like I said, you can also leave us a chat in our chat room. It is open and ready for your questions and comments throughout the show. I'll try to answer as best as I can. Like I said, we're going to talk about the birth of Mike Honcho tonight in the weekend series with the Vanderbilt Commodores. So we'll recap that. Big weekend at the University of Tennessee. Technically, this is the weekend of the orange and white game, but there's no official orange and white game this year because of the renovations at Neyland Stadium. But they do have a plethora of athletic events and entertainment throughout the weekend. We'll talk about that. We'll also, mentioning spring football, we'll dive into a little bit of spring football. We'll kind of look at the schedule early on, and I'll kind of give you my spring football schedule prediction or season prediction as of right now. Of course, we'll do a big full prediction once the summer gets going, but we'll kind of break it down where we are at this moment. And then we got some basketball news. Of course, Kennedy Chandler announced that he is entering the NBA draft. So we wish the best for Kennedy Chandler. We kind of saw it coming. He was a highly touted recruit out of high school last year, the number one point guard in the nation. So we kind of expect the one and done. Like I said, he played mostly well throughout the season. May not have lived up to that big hype like we thought, but still put on solid performances and looked really good in the NCAA tournament. And, of course, with the emergence of Zakir Ziegler at the point guard position, I think Tennessee's going to look pretty fine going into next year. We'll kind of talk about that towards the tail end of the show. Well, let's go ahead and dive in. Mike Honcho. All right, so for those who don't know the whole Mike Honcho story, so Friday night, Tennessee's playing Vanderbilt to open up the weekend series with the Commodores in Nashville. First inning, Tennessee got out red hot, or at least what we thought. Jordan Beck hit a home run into right field. Looked good. It was good. Tennessee up 1-0 early on, thinking, all right, we're rocking and rolling right now. As soon as Jordan Beck crossed home plate, the umpires decided to look at Jordan Beck's back for some reason. I think Tim Corbin probably saw it, the Vanderbilt manager. I think he saw it before anybody else did. They said, check his bat to see there's something up with it. So the umpires checked the bat of Jordan Beck's, and they rolled him out. Home run taken off the board, and come to find out, Jordan Beck's bat did not have a sticker. Now, there is a rule in college baseball, which I learned about it this weekend too, along with Coach Vitello. You have to have stickers on the bats to identify whose team's bats they are. So Tennessee will have the Power T orange sticker with the Power T on their bats. Vanderbilt has black or gold stickers with the V on it. So Jordan Beck's sticker came off during batting practice on Friday, and they pretty much confiscated the bat. But it did not hurt Tennessee at all in that game Friday night, as the Vols went on to win 6-2 over the Commodores. Like I said, Luke Lippius hit a home run. As a matter of fact, the next inning into deep right field that barely went over. But hey, we'll take it. And then wasn't a bad night for Beck at all after the home run got overturned. He did get an RBI. Lipscomb with an RBI himself, along with Evan Russell. Chase Burns went 5 in the third inning with 5 hits, 2 runs, 7 Ks, 1 walk. Will Mabry and Camden Sewell, relief, both went an inning in the third. Sewell had a couple strikeouts, and then Kirby Connell got the final out Friday night as Tennessee went on to win 6-2. Brad, our Vander's in the chat room tonight, says, let's go base Vols. Yes, big weekend. Saturday, Tennessee went on to win 5-2. Matter of fact, I was up at kind of a side story, but it kind of ties in a little bit. So I had some buddies and some cousins. We went up to Drake's restaurant up in Knoxville, right across West Town Mall, and we were watching the baseball game along with the Final Four and WrestleMania. So there's like a lot going on that night. Anyway, so like I said, a little side story, and I'll get back to baseball. So hello to my grandparents watching along. So we were up at Drake's, and North Carolina Duke just got done. We were leaving, and when I was leaving and my party was leaving, coming in the other door, the entranceway, I ran into Lamonte Turner and whoever he was with. I don't know if it's a girlfriend or a fiance. So I got to see Lamonte Turner Saturday night. I wish I got a picture, but it was just kind of like a brief meeting for a second and end up leaving. So really cool that we ran into Lamonte Turner just right after we watched Coach K's play his final game, or coach's final game at Duke. But anyways, getting back to baseball, we had the baseball game was on 5-2, the final score. Like I mentioned, Lipscomb had a home run in that game, and then RBIs also by Lipscomb. Beck had an RBI, and also Stevenson. Chase Dolander went 8 innings pitched, had 3 hits with two earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. And Redmond Walsh picked up the save in the 9th inning. That's his 4th of the year. By the way, I know Brad's favorite pitcher, Ben Joyce, the 104-mile-an-hour pitcher, didn't see any action all weekend, which is a little surprising, but just shows how deep that bullpen is with Redmond Walsh, Kirby Connell, Camden Sewell, Ben Joyce, Will Mabry. I mean, so nothing to be concerned over. And then we'll find out where Blake Tidwell falls into that rotation or bullpen rotation since he's coming back from injury. Sunday, Tennessee swept the Commodores. Shutout victory, 5-0, the final score. Drew Gilbert with a home run. RBIs by Lippius, Terrell Ortega, and then Gilbert had another RBI in that game. Complete game shutout for Drew Beam. Went 9 innings pitched with 2 hits and 4 strikeouts, no walks through 110 pitches. And like I said, this weekend rotation, we talk about it every week, just how dominant they are. I mean, this is kind of like of course, I'm a Braves fan, so I'm going to use a Braves reference. This is kind of like Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, John Smoltz all over again. Burns, Dolander, and Beam right now is 17-0 on the year, and their ERA is at a 1. And now it's like 1.37, I think is the official one, but it's in the ones. I mean, that's just unbelievable. And Brad says Tennessee will be the champs this year, national champions this year. He's calling it. I mean, it's amazing to see where Tennessee baseball is right now. Like I said, 2nd week in a row, still the number 1 team in the nation. Picked up a win last night against Lipscomb, 5-1, the final score, which, matter of fact, Lipscomb beat us last year at our place due to some controversial tendencies, but we get the revenge this year. And like I said, this team is red hot. I don't think I've seen a Tennessee athletic team just dominate right out of the start in a very long time. I mean, you can probably go back to some of the mid-'90s Tennessee football teams, and I know it's kind of hard to compare sports with another sport, but just pure domination right out of the gate, taking no prisoners each and every game. Like I said, even the Texas loss when we had in Houston, I mean, it was a pitcher's duel, and then Evan Russell hit a home run in the 5th inning, and then Tennessee unfortunately gave that game up. But still, just unbelievable performances. And we've already pretty much played our 2 biggest tests, weekend series tests, right out of the gate. We talked about Ole Miss last week, and like I said, came out and dominate in that series in a hostile environment. Same thing going into Vanderbilt. Just took care of business and still winning games. And now we're coming back home to take on Missouri. And like I said, Missouri nowhere near the competition as Tennessee is. And like I said, and I read this stat this week. Tennessee has a chance Friday against Missouri to tie the SEC record for the for the most consecutive SEC wins or the most wins to start the season off in conference play, and then possible to break the SEC record on Saturday. So definitely looking forward to seeing how they do this weekend. Should be a lot of fun. So I mentioned this is technically the orange and white weekend. Of course, there's no orange and white game. Hello, Charlie. Watching us on YouTube. He says, love the baseballs. I love how they play the long ball. Love the show from Chattanooga. Awesome. Thank you for joining us in, Charlie. Like I said, don't forget to, if you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching along. This weekend, all ball weekend. A lot going on. Like I said, no orange and white game this year due to the renovations in Neyland Stadium, but they will have an event down at Vol Village. For those who are not familiar where Vol Village is right across from Neyland Stadium, also across from the torchbearer statue. So they're gonna have, like I said, they're gonna have like a big event down there at Vol Village. They're going to have like Smokey down there, the Tennessee cheerleaders, UT band's going to be down there, some live music, food trucks, and then they're going to have a big gigantic screen or a couple screens at 1 o'clock, and they're going to simulcast the spring practice game from the Anderson Training Center in Knoxville. So if you're interested in going up there, I'm sure, take the kids up there, take the family, kind of enjoy, just being around a bunch of UT fans. That'd be kind of cool to have. Like I said, you got some other events going on. Baseball's home all weekend. Friday night, they're taking on Missouri at 6:30. Saturday night, 7 o'clock. That game's going to be on the SEC Network, and then a matinee game at 1 o'clock. I did read also on the headline as far as parking goes Friday night. So for those who might not be familiar, Elton John is going to be in town Friday night to perform a concert, and they wanted to tell UT fans if you're going to watch out for parking if you're going to the baseball game due to the traffic with the Elton John concert. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be in and around Knoxville Friday night, you got the Elton John concert there. So got to be careful being around University of Tennessee there. You got women's tennis going on this weekend. They're 11-6 on the year, 5-4 in SEC play. They play Vanderbilt Friday at noon, and then Sunday at noon against Kentucky. Women's soccer team, the defending SEC champions, playing a exhibition game against Clemson. That's a Sunday game at 1 o'clock. And then they have the 54th annual Tennessee track and field relays this weekend, Thursday through Saturday at the Tom Black track. 25 teams participating in this event, and I didn't write all 25 teams down because there's a bunch. But some of the teams that may be familiar with, you got ETSU is going to be there, Middle Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Louisville, Virginia Tech. That's not even everybody. I mean, there's still some other marquee programs and teams that are schools you've heard of. So really cool event going on down there. Also, kind of semi-switching here, we had a winner in the Tennessee SEC Championship hat. So if you won the March Madness bracket challenge, and you're, I can't remember the guy's name or off the top of my head or the person's name, please direct message us and we will get you that hat. You have till Friday to do that. Right, it says VFL Go Big Orange Rocky Top was our winner. Okay, yeah. VFL Go Big Orange Rocky Top was our winner in the Madness tourney. So if you are VFL Go Big Orange Rocky Top, you won the hat. You have it Friday to direct message us on the Facebook page. Friday to Friday to direct message us, and we'll definitely send the hat your way. If not, we may have to give it to somebody else, or Brad's going to keep it. So hopefully you're watching along, and just please reach out to us. Yeah, we're going to give it to the second place winner. All right. Sounds good. So, yeah, congratulations to VFL Go Big Orange Rocky Top for winning it. Like I said, we hope to make contact with you ASAP. All right. Let's talk a little spring football as I pull up the schedule here. Let's see if I can do this without messing it up. There we go. By the way, I figured out now how to not eliminate my screen. So apparently I bought this new mouse that has these two buttons on the side, and if I click them, it like erases them. So I'm going to try not to do that. Not really computer savvy. So you take a look at the SEC or the Tennessee football schedule for the 2022 season. I'm going to kind of break it down game by game really quick. Tennessee's opening the season with Ball State. I expect a win out of that right out of the gate. No issues there. Like I said, just typical first game. Just go out there. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. Hopefully Hendon Hooker looks really good out of the gate. Cedric Tillman, and everybody kind of get going out there. September 10th, we go to Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. This is now kind of becoming more of a toss-up game due to the thank you, Charlie, for mentioning that. Big recruits on campus this weekend. 24/7 has us predicted second in the East, 8 wins as long as one is over Florida. I'm okay with that. Yeah, and I'm about to talk about that Florida game. I agree with you. I think we're going to get a win over Florida. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Some big recruits. Nico is going to be back on campus, and along with 5-star wide receiver Ethan Davis and 5-star wide receiver Kyler Casper is going to be on campus this weekend for the spring game, if you will. And I'm sure some others are going to be on there. So hopefully the Nico effect can take place. Like I mentioned, September 10th against Pittsburgh. This is almost kind of becoming more of a toss-up game. Like I said, I feel confident we can go up to Pittsburgh and get a win. Keenan Slovis is a good quarterback for the ball for Pittsburgh. Or he was at USC. Now he's coming to Pittsburgh. He can be really good. I still like us to win that game on September the 10th. Akron on September 17th. Brad's saying, looking at the schedule, I truly believe we will win a minimum of 9 games, possible 10 games. Could be. September 17th, taking on Akron. It's Akron. I don't expect any issues with that. And then September 24th, going to be a big game. Florida comes into town. I would say this, at least both teams will be battle-tested early on. Florida opens the season against Utah on September the 3rd in the, I guess you can call the Urban Meyer Classic, since he used to coach at both of them schools. So Florida's going to be tested early on in week 1, and then we'll be tested the week after. I think like I mentioned this before, Brad agrees. Gators are going down. I agree. This has to be the year we beat Florida. I know it sounds like a broken record. We say year after year, this could be the year. This could be the year. This has to be the year because of what we have right now, going through our head coaching change last year, over expectation, or overachieving our expectations. And Florida's now making this transition with Billy Napier. I think they're a good team. We'll see how Anthony Richardson does, but this has to be the year we beat the Gators. And Brad says it's the time we beat them. And then I would love having this bye week on October the 1st. Like I said, if and when we do beat Florida, you're going to be going immediately on the road to Baton Rouge. And if that LSU game was right at October the 1st, I would probably pick the loss on that. But we do get that bye week, so kind of get the celebration out and then go transition into playing Brian Kelly and the LSU Tiger family. Brad says we can beat LSU. LSU is kind of a toss-up to me. Like I said, it's still kind of early on, and we'll figure out where LSU is. I'm not familiar. I can't remember who their Power 5 non-conference game is this year off the top of my head, but we'll dive into that a little bit later on. This is a tough game for me to pick right off the gate. Like I said, it's 50. It's a toss-up game to me right now. October 15th, Alabama. It's at Neyland Stadium, and if we go 5-0 out of the gate, possible, and I mean possible college game day appearance, possible, big game of the week, possible top 10 appearance. Brad says Georgia and Bama, we lose, but we truly have a chance to win the rest. Yeah, and like I said, I think Alabama's going to win this one. Bryce Young's coming back at quarterback. They're still a talented team. Saban's still there. That to me, that could be our first or second loss of the year. Of course, it all depends on what happens with Pitt and Florida too. But we shall see. October 22nd, taking on UT Martin. That's a win. No need to talk about that. Brad says definitely game day if we are both undefeated, and that's going to be crazy to think. I expect Alabama to be preseason number 1 and still be number 1 going into. It's the third Saturday in October this year, thankfully. And like I said, if we go 5-0 and in the top 10, yeah, I definitely could see that. But like I said, have to play the games to see where everything lines up, and of course, if we have any other possible matchups that may interfere. Kentucky, October 29th. Kentucky is Kentucky. I heard a comparison. They're kind of like oatmeal. It's not exciting, but it's satisfying, I guess. They're not a bells and whistles team or a gimmick team. They just kind of go out there and win games. And I'll give kudos to Mark Stoops for really making that kind of a established program. But Tennessee has dominated Kentucky year after year. I mean, and, the 2020 game was a disaster when we played Kentucky. I mean, that's where Brad's video got trending and ended up on Barstool Sports and on every Kentucky message board. If you never saw that reaction video, if you want to stomach it again, definitely check out our Brad's Kentucky reaction video from 2020. It's entertaining. I guess now hindsight 2020, it's probably more satisfying where we're at. But I expect Tennessee to it's going to be a close game, but I expect Tennessee to do very well in that one, especially, Kentucky's Will Levis and Chris Rodriguez coming back. They did pick up a couple wide receivers in the transfer portal, but we should learn a lot about Tennessee going into that October 29th game. November 5th, we go between the hedges, take on Georgia. I want to pull the upset there, but I don't see that happening. Stetson Bennett should be the quarterback, we expect. But Georgia's still going to be talented. November 12th, on my birthday, Missouri comes into town. I hadn't really done too much research on Missouri. I expect I'll just go ahead and say Will should dominate that game and pick up a win there. And then kind of the last two games, South Carolina on November 19th could be a possible trap game. We should learn a lot about South Carolina. Is Spencer Rattler definitely the real deal? Is Shane Beaver still going to, have a, kind of repeat last year, having a good, solid first year? If they do, I can see this being a trap game. Maybe I wouldn't say overlooking the Vanderbilt, but, definitely could be a hostile environment, especially if we're, maybe in the top 15 and definitely bowl eligible. Could be a bit of a trap game, maybe a letdown. Hopefully not. Hopefully, maybe South Carolina can slip and we can kind of go in there and put up a nice win. But it's going to be a tough game on the road either way. And then November 26th, we take on Vanderbilt. We should win that one. It's at Vandy. I can't wait to go there and fill their stadium up with orange and white instead of black and gold, kind of like the old days. It hasn't been that way the last few times we've been there. It's been more of an empty stadium for the most part. But I really love our fan base right now. It's probably the highest it's been in a long time. And like I said, I expect to have a solid season. Right now, I would probably say I say 8-4 right now, but that can change in the summer. We just got to see how spring practice goes and see if anybody else hits the transfer portal. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this window off. Yeah, it all depends on what happens with spring practices. Of course, the transfer portal is going to be a big deal. Like I said, you're going to have players, maybe from even Tennessee, who don't have a great spring practice and be like, well, I know where I am on the depth chart. I'm just going to go somewhere else. And then you're going to have other schools that think the same way, and Tennessee's going to take advantage of it. Matter of fact, Tennessee offered a West Virginia transfer defensive end, a possible scholarship. So we'll see what happens there. But, it's going to be definitely going to be interesting. Charlie says, I don't think we got the horses yet for Bama or Georgia, but yes, the rest of the games are winnable. If the Georgia game is for the East, maybe you go only in one loss. Yeah. Like I said, we're definitely, not where on the Bama Georgia level, like Charlie's saying. But like I said, the rest of the games can be winnable. Even, some of them tough road games I've talked about, going to Baton Rouge to play LSU, South Carolina, at William Bryant Stadium. Like I said, we didn't struggle too bad on the road last year. Matter of fact, we played better on the road, except for going down the swamp and going down to Alabama. Brad mentioned, who wants to see a Vols Society podcast this football season? We need our fans' input. Yeah, so we've had some fan requests to do a audio podcast for the football season, kind of break down each and every week. So if you're interested, leave a comment, reach out to us to see if we can draw some interest. We're thinking we want Brad, our founder, to be a part of it. And like I said, for me, it's just I just do the Wednesday night show, kind of talking about Tennessee athletics in general. But this is going to be a little bit more in depth. Like I said, more lighthearted. Like I said, Brad's very humorous, got a great sense of humor. I'm more deadpan humor. Maybe throw in another of our founders, David Dees, just kind of have some more voices and more opinions about Tennessee football. So if you're definitely interested in that, please reach out to us. We definitely are interested on our side. We'll see if the Vols Society in general will be interested in it. Yeah, like I said, it should be a fun football season coming up. Like I said, spring practice winding down. The spring game coming up on Saturday. And then we'll just kind of have to, wait and see. Hopefully nobody transfers, but, it's probably going to happen. And we'll definitely, like I said, just definitely be counting down the days. One thing I hadn't mentioned to Brad yet, when we get to 100 days until football time in Tennessee, I'm thinking about doing some sort of a countdown on our Facebook page each and every day, kind of like a jersey countdown, talk about some VFLs or maybe some current players to kind of count down the days. I know UT used to do that on their social media pages. They kind of, I don't know, for some reason kind of cut that out. So we'll definitely start doing that when we get into the under 100 days until football time in Tennessee. So hopefully to get some excitement there. Brad says, great idea. So I'm going to have to do some research and remember who number 96 and 90 or 87 are or whatever. So it should be a lot of fun on our end. But like I said, any other questions or comments? Like I said, we've had a great show, like I said, so far. And thank you for everybody tuning in so far. Like I said, once again, if you're interested in the podcast this football season, please reach out to that. I'll go ahead and talk about this. Like I said, mentioned Kennedy at the top of the show. Kennedy Chandler declares for the NBA draft. Also, some other news. Speaking of transfer portal, another Tennessee player hit the transfer portal for the basketball team. Haji Tamba, the big center that kind of has some hype coming into this year. He decided to hit the transfer portal too. So we'll see where he goes. We already know Brock Jancic entered last week, and then Victor Bailey Jr. entered and is already at George Mason with former Tennessee assistant coach Kim English. But like I said, as far as basketball goes, I'm not too worried about it. ESPN did their early top 25 poll for next year, and they have us at number 14 to start the season. But, those way too early top 25 polls, you just kind of had to take it with a grain of salt. They had Arkansas at number 1. So we'll see how it goes. That's still a long way off. We mentioned this on the Facebook page. Tennessee in 2023 is playing in the Maui Invitational out in the Big Island of Hawaii. And like some of the teams that they're playing in that tournament includes Kansas, UCLA, Gonzaga, Marquette, Syracuse, and Chaminade, the host city. 2022, Tennessee will head to Nassau, Bahamas for the battle for Atlantis. Kansas, who won the national championship Monday night, is in that tournament. Like I said, we're there. Lady Vols also playing in the battle for Atlantis. They're doing a women's tournament, I think, for the first time, I believe. So both men's and women's basketball team heading to the Bahamas during Thanksgiving weekend for the Battle of Atlantis, and then 2023, the men headed for the Maui tournament. Like I said, we still got a long ways to go on that one. Any other questions or comments tonight? Yeah, like I said, thank you for everybody kind of tuning in tonight. Like I said, baseball team still rocking and rolling at number 1. Can they continue to ride that momentum each and every week? And I guess kind of, if I don't know if it's a concern, but definitely something to kind of think about. Is Tennessee maybe peaking too early? Hopefully not. Hopefully they'll continue to still dominate and, like I said, win a college world championship for the first time in school history. I mean, for the first time ever in school history, we're the number 1 team in college baseball. It never happened. I mean, like we talked about this before, just 3 years ago, like not a lot of people went to Tennessee baseball, and you can kind of get tickets cheaper than going to see the Tennessee Smokies just right up the road in Kodak. And now, like, tickets have gone up. I heard like the Missouri tickets now are almost $60, which makes me personally thankful I got those Georgia tickets early on. Brad says, thank you, Dr. Danny. Absolutely. Danny White has just been a miracle worker at UTK. We're big fans of him on the Boston side. I know Brad is. We sing his praises every week, it seems like. But it should be a lot of fun. Like I said, baseball, you got Missouri this weekend, women's tennis, a couple of games on over the weekend, track and field, big event, like 25 teams. I mean, that's unreal for track and field for 3 days at the Tom Black track. I think they have free admission for that. So, like I said, I know a little bit about track and field. I don't know all of the events, but maybe kind of cool to see. And then, soccer spring game against Clemson. Like I said, that's your defending SEC champions. Charlie says, thanks for the show. I enjoy it. Yes, Brad is funny in the videos I've seen. Have a good night. Thank you, Charlie, for tuning in. Like I said, please keep tuning in each and every week. And like I said, that Kentucky video is just, hey, it's something. Brad says, go support them folks. Yeah, great track. Yeah, I've been by it. Matter of fact, I never went to a track and field event, but I have seen a event, just in passing. I think one time at the orange and white game, but it's really nice. Just kind of walking and passing on campus. I mean, the facilities at UT is unreal. For the most part, they're all in close proximity. I know the softball stadium and the aquatic center is a little bit off. Not want to say off the beaten path, but not not like really walking distance. But everything else is in walking distance. It's great. Been to many in college, the track and field. That's cool. And that's something, when football season gets back up there, hopefully I can try to, one of the personal goals is to show the different stadiums and different arenas and stuff. I know softball and the aquatic centers, like I said, I have to kind of I don't know how I'm going to walk to that because you got the railroad track, CSX, got their headquarters there. So I can't really do that. But definitely a lot of fun. Like I said, I've walked by Lindsey Nelson Stadium. I'm excited to go to my first college baseball game on May 14th, the Saturday game against Georgia. Obviously been to Thompson Bowling and Neyland Stadium, of course. I've been by the practice fields and the athletic center. So, it's just all great right there. Of course, for those who may be new to Vols Society, what I do for transportation for football is I take a school bus. Brad says share content when you go. Okay, we'll do. And also share our videos out too. But yeah, for those who may not know, I take a school bus from Foothills Mall in Maryville down to University of Tennessee. It's like it's $10 for a bus ride down there. So kind of save some parking if you don't want to spend, $30-$40 on that. But like I said, I'm the fortunate enough to walk by a lot of those facilities, Lindsey Nelson Stadium, going down that road past the athletic center, Anderson Training Center, going by Pat Summitt statue, down Thompson Bowling Arena into Neyland Stadium. Just a beautiful walk. And then if you circle back around, you'll go past the Rock. You got the Music Center over there, and just a beautiful campus University of Tennessee is. Like I said, Brad, our founder, is an alum. Got graduated with a degree out there. Like I said, I'm just a fan. I didn't go to UT. I'm just a typical fan. But that's the thing I love about Vols Society, and especially if you want to do this podcast, like I said, I'm just a typical Tennessee blue collar fan. Brad is an alum. He's a big football fan. So you may get it from an alum's perspective. And then David D's kind of the same thing, a fan too. Brad says he misses it. Great memories. Yeah, absolutely. Great times up there. And like I said, just seeing just the attendance growing through all sports, and kind of saw it with football. And it's going to even be crazier next year up there. Should be a lot of fun. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Like I said, been a lot of fun. Big weekend, like I said, with baseball still rolling along. We'll talk about that. Hope you enjoyed the kind of a little quick spring preview looking at the schedule for Tennessee. Like I said, we'll bring more football content as it goes along. As like I said, now Tennessee after Saturday will take a hiatus until fall camp gets underway around July, August, around that time, and then be back at it once again. Like I said, continue to support us. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/UT Vols Society. As Brad says, the future is bright. Definitely for Tennessee athletics and Vols Society. Like I said, once again, for our find his name again. If you won the hat, where's he at? I lost him. Anyways, if you won the hat, the big long name I just can't think off the top of my head, please contact us and you have to Friday. If not, we'll give it to the second place winner. And like I said, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back here next Wednesday night. We'll recap the Missouri game and any other news and notes along Vols Society Live. Until next time, this is David Morrison saying, have a great night and go Vols.